Ego. It is a word that evokes strong emotions. Sometimes it is spoken of as an enemy that must be defeated, other times as a part of the personality that must be protected. The truth is more subtle. Ego is a tool, not a master, not an enemy, a tool. Think of it like software in a computer. Software allows the computer to function. But if the software takes control of the entire system, if it becomes unstable or full of errors, the computer stops serving its purpose. In the same way, ego allows us to function as individuals, to have identity, to make decisions, to plan, and to protect ourselves. Without it, we could not live as separate beings. But when ego begins to control everything, problems arise. The need to always be right, the need to be better than others, the fear of criticism, defensive reactions, conflicts. A person becomes attached to a story. I am like this. I am right. No one understands me. And that story tightens around them. Here's the key difference. Ego is the story. Consciousness is the space in which the story happens. When you pause and observe your thoughts, you notice something interesting. A thought arrives. For example, I am afraid or I am angry. It exists for a moment, then it passes. But the one who noticed the thought remains. That observer is consciousness. This is not abstract philosophy. It is an experience anyone can try. Close your eyes for a moment and focus on your breathing. Notice the thoughts that come. Do not judge them. Simply observe. And become aware. You are not the thought. You are the one who notices it. Ego often defends itself because it feels threatened. If someone questions our opinion, ego may interpret it as an attack. If someone criticizes us, ego reacts with anger or sadness. This is natural. Ego wants to survive. It wants to preserve its identity. The problem arises when identity becomes rigid. When a person believes, I am always like this, I never change, I'm always right. But life is movement. Learning is movement. To grow means to change. To admit a mistake is not weakness, it is strength. A healthy ego is like a strong muscle. It stands upright, it can say no, it can defend itself when necessary, but it can also listen. It can acknowledge another perspective. It does not attack unnecessarily. It does not need constant validation. It is confident, but not arrogant. An unhealthy ego is different. It may be inflated, always needing to be right, diminishing others, seeking admiration, or it may be wounded, feeling inferior, reacting excessively, searching for confirmation. Both forms are reactions to fear. Fear is natural. It helps us survive. But if fear governs everything, life becomes narrow. We make decisions not based on what is true, but on what feels safe. We avoid challenges. We resist change. This is where consciousness comes in. Consciousness is the ability to observe without immediate reaction. When I notice anger, I can say, I notice I am angry. I do not have to attack. When I notice fear, I can say, I notice I am afraid. I do not have to flee. This small space of awareness creates freedom. It is not about suppressing ego. It is not about fighting it. It is about understanding. Ego is a tool, like a hammer. A hammer can build a house, but if I strike a person with it, it causes harm. The problem is not the tool, but how it is used. Ego helped us build civilization. Without the sense of I, creation would not exist. There would be no art, no scientific discovery, no relationships. We need identity in order to act, but identity must not become a prison. In many spiritual traditions, there is talk of dissolving the ego. This does not mean losing personality. It means releasing attachment. It means not being a slave to the belief that my value depends on what others think. It means being able to stand firm in who I am, but also to listen, to change my opinion when new information appears. This is balance. Scientists study the brain and psychology. That is important. It explains mechanisms, but there are also questions that go beyond measurable data. What is consciousness? Why do we experience ourselves? How does the sense of I arise? We do not yet have complete answers, and that is fine. Knowledge is a journey. From the perspective of consciousness, we can see ego as an experience, as a game in which we play roles. The role of parent, friend, creator, critic. The game is not bad, but if we forget it as a game, we begin to identify completely with the role. We defend the mask instead of seeking truth. When I realize I am more than the mask, freedom appears. I can play the role, but it does not define me entirely. I can have an opinion, but I do not need to attack another opinion. I can feel emotions, but I do not have to be enslaved by them. This is the path, not perfection, not the destruction of ego, but understanding. When I understand, I can choose. I can respond more calmly, I can listen, I can grow, and growth is the essence of life. Ego is therefore a tool. Consciousness is the space. Life is movement between them. When we use the tool wisely, it serves us. When we do not understand it, it may control us. The goal is not conflict. The goal is balance, and balance brings peace.